everyone, this is Greyshot17
and Greyshot151 here.
and today we're doing a kaiju in review of Godzilla 2014.
Yes, when a mysterious accident befalls a nuclear power plant, a very driven father and son soon discover a possibly world-ending cause, along with a predator for this cause. Honestly, I say that in that particular order because very much, even though this movie is called Godzilla, a lot of the events that are put in motion, the focus, it's really not on Godzilla.
It's on the Muto.
It's on the Muto,
which is good.
Which is good. But it's almost like you focus too much. It's almost like I made the note for you, but it's almost like when they make like an Aladdin movie.
Yeah.
That 90 like
it's called Aladdin.
It's called Aladdin, but Jafar's in it like the entire time. In Aladdin, you just get like little snippets.
It's weird.
It is weird, but it's not to say he doesn't have a presence in this movie, which he does. Yeah. The opening sequence focuses on him, and there's very much many shots and sequences that involve the actions of his past, and then the actions that occur in the movie, especially after, I would say, 55 an hour into it, when Godzilla makes his presence to Hawaii, you definitely get the feeling of, okay, this is the Mutos, but there is literally their own, while the monsters are quote-unquote a natural disaster, a storm, if you will, in
there's
humanity,
something else.
There is a bigger storm that is chasing them, which is a cool aspect.
Let's get to the basics.
Yes.
You have Bryan Cranston as the father. You have Aaron Taylor Johnson as the...
Which, to open up, what happens is a reactor befalls an accident. A father loses a what? Husband loses a wife. And he's basically sent to raise his child all by himself. Cut to 15 years later, his child's grown up. He's in the military. And his
way of escaping was kind of going military to distance himself. His father was driven to find out what the heck happened.
Because he sent
his wife down into the nuclear reactor, and unfortunately she died. Which also leaves to one of the better moments. Here, the thing about this movie is there's a lot of really good moments, and this is one probably, if not the best human moment or the character moment in this film.
I would rank it up
because with him on the door, that whole sequence, that first 5 minutes with him is great. It's a great way to open a movie and get you involved in the characters. The problem is Bryan Cranston's only in it for 40 minutes.
For it, like a solid 1/3 of the movie, he's in it. The first act essentially is very much he is in the movie, and he honestly is kind of the heart and soul, because the thing about these actors is in The Chosen is they're not bad actors. Like Elizabeth Olsen in particular,
she's fine.
The actress that it walks around with, again, Ken Watanabe. Like these are like, she just won.
Who's also in The Shape of Water.
Yeah, she was in The Shape of Water, which is really weird looking at it now.
And Paddington too.
Really weird looking on it now, knowing that she dates a fishman in that movie and is chasing monsters in this one. It's kind of weird. But no, like even Ken Watanabe, I think he should have had more talking time, because I feel like they gave him. It's almost like people were like, we can't have this actor talking. We don't want to have him too much screen time. And then there was like a compromise done, like he'll have only this many lines, but he will be on this much screen time. Therefore, every shot he's in, he's just staring, and it works in some, doesn't work in others, because he just seems like he doesn't understand English in a lot of it, and he just is like taking in everything, like every moment, which is your character shouldn't do. Again, something I really hope they fix in the sequel.
But like again, once he dies, the main character goes to Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, Brody. But
he's kind of lacking in character.
The problem is, like, there's a great scene that goes in this where you have both of them going through their old home, and you have Bryan Cranston going through all this stuff along with Aaron Taylor Johnson, and you can tell which one is the better actor in that scene, because one is literally giving a great emotional performance, and you can do a performance without emotion and still have an impact. The problem is Aaron Taylor Johnson, it doesn't have that sting.
He works out as like a soldier character. And that's what really he picks up. He picks up a toy soldier, and it's very much he is a plastic shell. Whereas the only time you ever get a good emotion out of him is the beginning of the movie, and that is because he's with his wife. Which is, again, very weird, because Elizabeth Olsen, who just the movie prior were sisters, so that was also in the back of everyone's mind then. But they have a good repertoire. And then when he's with his dad, you can see there's something there. But maybe that's just Bryan Cranston whatever acting power he has bouncing off of him.
Yeah.
Because the moment
he works better in pairs than by himself.
Yeah, the moment he's alone, he loses that, and then he's forced to carry the movie in the sequence, and he can't.
Yeah.
He's not terrible. He's just not memorable. Like,
yeah, he's plain.
If you were to describe me in regards to like Godzilla movies, like there are tons of moments where there are forgettable characters.
Can I be honest?
But there are other moments like Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah with the writer, or the soldier that remember the commander sequence, or even in like the crazier ones like Mothra, the reporter. There are like characters that are just weird enough or do something different where they're memorable. In this one, he's not memorable. He doesn't do anything that differentiates himself from average military Joe.
Like, I don't know how you do this, but I would kind of want like Ken Watanabe to be the person you see in this.
I would argue against that. I would say,
or what I'm saying is he does more with less. The guy in that same
scenario. But that's
scenario.
the problem. He does too much with less. Like, he's not given enough.
That's why I would see him more. I
would almost say this movie would have been better in regards to a father-son relationship, and at the very end, Bryan Cranston dies, because then Aaron Taylor Johnson would have something to work with and a character to go back and forth with.
I think
I don't understand how that would work. You'd have to rework the script a ton, but I almost think a Ryan Gosling character would have been, because he can do stoic but still have like moments and you can understand his character. Yeah. Whereas again, Johnson can't.
You can see,
and that is the weakest part of this movie, is this character.
You can see the hidden depth through the cracks of the character. When you see Aaron Taylor Johnson, that same type of mold, you go through the cracks and you see nothing.
Exactly.
That's the problem. Again, that's the human characters, which is again pretty good overall. I mean, again, he's a blank slate, but he's passable. He's a generic white male protagonist.
A soldier, essentially. Yeah, there's nothing. If you were to tell me what his character was, I couldn't tell you anything. Yeah. He's just generic military guy. The wife is kind and interesting. Yeah. It's nothing memorable.
She has so few scenes.
Again, I would say,
Ken Watanabe, Bryan Cranston. I mean, it's hands down.
Yeah, those two. It's kind of like Kong Skull Island with John C. Reilly. Like, he is by far the best thing in the movie next to like Samuel L. Jackson. Those two are like the foundation of that movie.
Yes.
And what would make me want to watch that movie again.
Yeah. Again, moving through, the soundtrack's really good. I would say that.
Yeah.
Effects-wise, it's great across the board except for one issue. Yeah. Go ahead.
The effects?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what the effects. What
okay. The issue with the effects is pretty much the color contrast. Everything is very dark.
Oh.
And when we saw this in the theater, I noticed it, and the same thing here. And literally, we got the 3D Blu-ray to fix this issue. But the movie is so dark, it's hard to see.
To be fair, we didn't watch the 3D Blu-ray in regards to the shot. I don't think that... Maybe it helps. I don't know, because we just watched on the normal DVD.
But what I'm saying is, it's like, this film is very dark in some instances, and that's my issue.
I think they addressed that with Kong Skull Island being so colorful.
Yes, which is so nice.
And I think what you can boil down to this is the style of the director.
Yeah. The thing about it, though, is even though the effects are bad in some sequences where it's hard to see, the cinematography of the effect, of how you can see it, does help elevate it, because not just your standard shot, you have a lot of very close personal shots with people reacting to things, which helps open up the environment in interesting ways and get great scenes. There's an amazing airport sequence, there's a great fight sequence in San Francisco, and it's shot beautifully. There's a whole sequence where people are coming down from a halo jump. It's a lot of these great effects that, even though it's darker, really does help stand out just by how it is presented.
Even though the shot itself is hard to make out, the transition between the shots work.
Yes.
For most of the film. There are a few that are very off-putting, especially the airport sequence when Godzilla finally shows up. And then hard cuts to Kid, a TV.
Yeah,
that one was very hard. But I mean, I think that's more of a plot on the story itself, like the script.
Yeah.
But the other thing I will say in regards to it is, fun fact, it's actually the guy that did. I'm pretty sure it's the guy that did the original Avengers. Yeah. Like, that's the guy that did the transition shots. But it wouldn't be interesting to look at if the monsters weren't cool. And that's the other thing I will say about this movie. Compared to, let's say, King Caesar and Godzilla vs. Godzilla. Compared to, let's say, Megaguirus. Or, like, maybe not Megaguirus. But, like, there are a lot of movies where they build up the hype for this movie, and you don't get a real good grasp of the monster. Like, they don't seem like a threat. They don't seem like they have their own character. In this one, I would say that all the monsters going in, like, from the male Muto to Godzilla to the female, all are... okay, maybe the female isn't different, but you get their character.
Yep.
They have little moments where they shine.
Yep.
And they have some excellent shots of action. Like the male flying and using his like weight and shifting around was very cool, very unique. Godzilla, just the sequence where he arrives in Hawaii.
The final sequence with the ray breath in the mouth. Like that, like him opening and doing it is something like everyone had no idea they wanted that until it happens. Like, I want to see more of that because that's so freaking cool.
Yep.
But like I said, the biggest issue with this movie is the second act, which, again, without a very strong lead, it does go down. In the third act, it still has that issue, but Godzilla's in it so much more that helps elevate it.
Can I argue that the second act, I was totally with you. I used to tell people the first act and the third act of this movie are fantastic, and the second act is terrible. But actually, upon rewatching it, it's not as bad as I remembered. Like, it is the weakest part.
I never said it's bad. I said it's average. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not. It's made good moments as does bad.
Yeah.
Especially the sequence where they're discussing Godzilla on the ship. Like, when they get off the ship, it gets weaker by far.
Yeah.
And then there's like plot holes in regards to like, well, why don't they just take it with helicopters like to the place they need to?
Yeah.
Why don't they do that? Like, there's a little bits here and there, but for the most part, those instances you don't think of in the first and third act. The second gives you time to think about it. And it also has an action sequence that is not very engaging, which is the female at the train sequence.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's not engaging.
You could have let's just try to say this. You could have added more sequences at the airport.
Yes.
Cut the entire sequence of them trying to get the nuke to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And have him land at San Francisco airport and then do that.
Yes. I completely agree.
You could have cut that and put that there, and this movie would have been flawless, I think, because then you literally ramp the Godzilla at the airport. You have a small breath.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Okay, so again, we have the negatives.
Yes.
We have the positives.
Yes.
Is there any other scene you want to talk about? First off, the breath is great, and the Godzilla's design overall I do enjoy.
A little flamey. I'm kind of wanting more like Atomic Ray-ish.
Yeah.
There are nitpicks I have. Like,
I want more military fights.
I want more. Yeah, the military fight on the bridge is awesome.
Yeah.
There's still not enough.
Godzilla's
roar is a little weak. Like, it's soft. It needs to have that. My favorite roar is the gravel tone of like Godzilla vs. Biollante.
Yeah.
Having that extra like weight to it kind of sells it for Godzilla.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, again, looking back in this movie, it's actually really strong. And while the military portion, some people just disappear.
Yeah.
I honestly, it's kind of like the handing of the torch, kind of like father to son, and then son, he's just trying to save his family, which is...
It just needed a better main actor.
I think that's the major problem with this movie, is the main actor did not give the best performance, and honestly, I think that kind of shows, because, like, what is he in now? He's kind of like...
he's been Outlaw King.
You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of the guy that did Avatar. Like, he did that one movie.
Yeah, Sam Worthington,
Yeah, he did that one movie, and I don't think he's done much else.
He did a bunch of other stuff, like Clash of the Titans and such, but then quickly disappeared.
Titan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's pretty much kind of been pushed off. You know what actually Sam Worthington was in? Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was good in that.
But yeah, it's an actor that... Again, I feel like he kind of got shot up there thinking this is going to be the character, realized, oh, he's not really sticking, and kind of moved to the side. Yeah. And Gareth Edwards, again, a director of those smaller scale films, got pushed in a bunch of big stuff, had a bunch of issues with his film, and is like, I'm going to smaller scale stuff.
Yeah,
but for what he did in this film, I will give him credit. It shows he's a good director.
I'll give him credit for Rogue One as well, but that's a tale for another story. So in any case, after all our praise and, criticism, where would we put this? So obviously,
this one's an interesting one because again, it's an American film compared to all these other Japanese time films, so there is going to be that inherent difference.
There is a movie that I know is going to beat it, but
we have to judge it based on also how good it is as a Godzilla movie. Does it do what it needs to do as a Godzilla film?
Yes.
Because
I will also say
the acting in Hollywood is going to be, no offense, I'm sorry, a lot better than a lot of Japanese,
especially with the dubbing.
Movies.
Yeah. I will say, but I will say a story doesn't matter where it's made.
Yeah.
It matters how it's crafted.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if I've seen plenty of good foreign films. Like some of the best foreign films. post Train to Busan.
Yep.
Like, you don't need an American to make sure the story is good. There are fantastic, like the Counterfeiters.
But if you pull the acting from Mothra, I don't think it's gonna do well in America. Is like if we suddenly can understand everything they're saying, and like you understand that level or but caliber.
The story though is the one thing I will say. Like if we ignore the special effects, the story in itself. The acting in itself,
I'll add the special
you don't
effects.
need to hear Bryan Cranston's performance. You just need to see it, and that's what I give with the guy that played in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah.
Okay, so
you just see his performance, you know, damn.
So here's the thing: Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah has a lot of really good Godzilla moments and like fights. The problem is this has less Godzilla in it, but it has like exactly what you want. Every time you see Godzilla, he does something fucking amazing.
Yes. So every shot of Godzilla, most shots of Godzilla in this movie is memorable. Like Godzilla at the airport, memorable. The atomic ray, memorable. The second atomic ray, memorable. Like
they're easily the heights of what Godzilla like can do. It's not like Zilla in Godzilla where it's like name a cool thing he does in that movie.
He humps,
I can't wait to see that.
He humps the Empire State Building.
Fair point.
Wait a minute. You said cool.
Yeah. He gets stuck on a bridge.
Can we easily say this is better than Shin? I would say this easily is Shin. Okay. Is it better than Godzilla vs. Biolante?
Yes.
Yes. Gamera 2. I would say, okay, go with me here. If we're going, ignore the actors. Ignore.
No, we're including Bryan Cranston in this, and like the main leads are generic. This thing does a lot better. Godzilla, Gamera has a sacrifice.
Both leads are generic.
Yeah.
In Gamera 2 and this one, both of the leads, like the scientist person and then this guy,
Bryan Cranston is so much better.
Ken Watanabe is good in some scenes too.
There's a lot of tension. The atmosphere is a lot better in this. I would probably, damn it, call
it American Bias. I vote 1.
What?
Call it American Bias. I'm putting this at number 1.
Yeah.
There are 2 movies that can dethrone this, and I know what they are. And then when they show up, I will not hold anything against this movie, but this is a very there's a reason. Again, I brought this up in the review. There's a reason why CinemaSins during this took off points at moments during this movie on quite a few occasions. Yeah. It's because some of these moments are just so good that even if the other parts of the movie are weak, they average it so high. Yeah. They make this movie's average so high.
Yeah, this film is just it has a lot of high moments, and even the worst moments are just average.
Yep.
That's it. It's average. And you could say, oh, there's nothing interesting in a 30-minute chunk of this film. It still pulls you along by everything going on and stuff like that. I do agree they could have shifted some things and changed it.
Yeah.
But once they do the Halo jump, and after you have the airport to the Halo jump, once you get through that section, it gets going and it brings it back up.
I would completely agree with you on that one. So we're
and this is why it was our favorite movie of
2014
when it came out. It's like this film does a lot right for Godzilla fans.
Guardians of the Galaxy was our number 2.
Yeah.
But it was only number 2 because this movie just does so much right with Godzilla.
Yeah.
And it does a lot wrong. It does a lot wrong when it comes to Godzilla screen time. When it comes to there's a lot of little things in regards to Muto design, while cool, is basically the Cloverfield monster, and it's very much that Hollywood-esque. It must be parasitic, multi-armed, that kind of design.
Which is why I can't wait to see the actual Toho monsters, because they actually are not necessarily original with a giant pterodon. We've seen some images,
and they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're putting Godzilla 2014 at number 1 on our list.
And that fills up our entire 15 movies list.
It does, which means we're going to have to get rid of some in the next few. So this is going to be fun.
All right, I have no idea what's next. I truly don't, so go ahead.
The next one is the other reboot of a classic a classic monster, which is...
Oh, please don't tell me it's the 1998 Godzilla.
No, it's 1995's Gamera, Guardian of the Universe.
You know, people are going to be angry the fact we're reviewing also Gamera.
I was actually thinking, if we have time, we got to throw Kong Skull Island on this list.
Yeah, we probably should.
Because it's technically in the universe.
Yeah.
So, it technically builds up to this film.
We are... And that's my problem, is we're doing, Toho Godzilla movies. So
Toho technically had a hand in it.
So you know what? We'll save King Kong for afterwards. Mm-hmm. It'd be kind of...
Actually, I don't think it did. But, it's close enough. They're using the same characters. We'll think... King Kong, I think, might actually get on this list. I actually think it's definitely going to make the top list. But if we didn't see it...
Then we're more... again, this is kind of just us. You can hear us debating about this list. The problem with Gamera, and again, you said Toho released them as part of the Toho Kaiju group, which is fine.
But it is part of Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's literally like, if you were to like say beforehand, if you're gonna watch Avengers, you're going to watch all the movies.
Yeah.
So Kong kind of should be on the list.
But we're more focusing on all the Godzilla films. But I get it. We're trying to include everything. That's why we have Mothra in here and
We're
such.
also including, the reason why I include Gamera, especially Gamera, is because it gives a kind of it's the box office rival to Godzilla.
But released by the same company, which is weird.
No, they were made by...
You just said it was distributed by Toho.
It was, but it wasn't made by Toho. It was made by Dai Films.
But that's
Toho made Godzilla. Dai Films is another production company. It's kind of like... Toho owns theaters.
Okay.
So that's why Gamera was distributed by Godzilla, by Toho, so it can get into like different film chains. And such. That's why. So Toho makes its own movies and it ships them, but then it can also distribute other film companies. It's like Warner Brothers could distribute legendary films.
So what you're saying is I should make now 2 images, one of all the Godzilla films and one with Gamera, just to show for comparison.
If we're gonna do that as well, then why do we have Rodan? Why do we have
Because
Mothra?
They're actually in the Godzilla universe. Gamera's never showed the fuck up.
Yeah, but he's referenced with all the Godzillas. And he's the closest thing to, like, a rival. And I would make note, he's had a bigger influence on kaiju fans than a lot of Godzilla movies have. When they describe a good kaiju movie.
Well, I'm saying, I agree. Our thing is kaiju in review.
Yes.
Yes, so anyway.
By the way, you can cut all that out.
Alright. In any case, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. This has been Greyshot17.
And Greyshot151. And we will see you next time when we watch Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. Until then, catch you later. Could you imagine if he missed? Oh shit.
It's like, warning, system failure.
We laugh, but I'm about to cry.
Just want to let you know, I can get you some great meth. Let's just talk about
Guys,
this.
I know a guy, he can give some great buoys, some excellent seafood. No? Okay.
His name is Jesse. He's a great cook.
Jesse!
We need to cook.
Oh. Bye from the Russians.
Let's just remind ourselves, he's hanging there, alright?
Look at it. He just switched from pants to shorts.
Yeah, he did. Some of them are wearing shorts, but yeah, you're right, that guy.
One quick thing. There's also another one I'd point out later, but... Again, if you want to make the most Michael Bay shot of this movie, this is that shot. Literally carriers going in formation with Godzilla swimming, and Godzilla not caring at all about them. Everyone's like, oh, shit. Also, can I make note, these are the worst guards in the history of
Nobody heard that.
Nobody
heard that.
At all.
Shut off the light. Why do you have a light?
Shut off the light.
Hit the deck, they can't see us.
Why? Don't point the light.
That's like, alright, what's the plan?
Okay.
Alright, guys, the Navy's gonna keep Godzilla way over here. And
we're gonna fire
long range. We're just gonna fire long range. We won't have to worry, boys.
Again, they were supposed to be the support. They were supposed to be the support.
That's amazing. You're about to get to the second part about this.
Yeah, the guy in the back left-hand corner is just doing a jig. As you can see, he's just going back and forth.
You know what?
Never mind.
Godzilla, you might need to lose some weight. You have a bit of a gut right there.
Yeah. I mean,
I never thought he was fat.
People thought that on the Tolkien forums, but yeah.
They call him fat now. They call the Mothra sexy. Like what? Hello everyone, and before I go, I have a special shout out for Patreon supporters Ace, Joey, Mezro, jrchicklis, JustThomasPlays, Matthew Leppen, Ollie, Onlyplayapples, Rifle, Sam Smith, sgtMcPain, Streakingwookie, WhiteHotD, Aaron Yee, Jordan Savat, Leo Liu, Michael Persson, Nathan Angus, RASpawn, and Tim. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support. You all rock. This has been Greyshot17. I'll see you all next time.